It is 4:20 a.m. and many in the national capital are still in bed. But 8-year-old Jeremiah Arthur and his mother, Betty Mensah, are already here at the 37 Military Hospital. On this day, they would not see a doctor until after 8 a.m., about 4 hours from now. Jerry and his mother left Takoradi at midnight by bus. This means it will take them at least 8 hours from the time they left home to when they will finally see a doctor. Anytime they have to come to the hospital, they travel at night in order to be in the right position of the long queue of patients. There is no sleep for them on such occasions. The reason Jerry is still sleeping on the wooden bench in front of the surgical OPD. After securing her place in the queue, Jerry's mother heads for the X-ray laboratory. She must do this before daylight brings with it another long queue that will delay their turn to see a medical doctor. Previous experiences have taught her that an X-ray is a predictable ritual of Jerry's medical review. Work is yet to officially start for the day here, but the technician here, one Mr. Boateng, upon seeing Jerry, decides to attend to him. Health workers at various departments of the 37 Military Hospital have learned of Jerry's story and often go out of their way to assist. Jerry and his mother came to the hospital with only what they wore because they thought they would be done by midday and returned to Takoradi. But the doctors decided otherwise. Jerry would have to undergo another surgery, which is scheduled for the following day, Friday, January 5th, 2018. He is admitted to the Nkrumah ward, a ward he is very familiar with.
They say you go for surgery. How do you feel about that?
Nothing.
You don't feel anything about the surgery?
Me who doctor no kwana me yemu ahye ko okwa surgery na oba enye easy obesusa eyemiya obesusa.
Jerry has lost his left leg. The crude amputation took almost all his thigh. The surgery was to be performed on the remaining leg, which can be described as a half leg. All the toes except the big toe are missing. The part of the remaining leg between the knee and the foot looks like a PVC pipe caught midway by fire and salvaged just in time before that portion melts completely. Apart from the scars below his knee and on his thigh, the bones in this remaining leg are fractured, a reason Jerry was to undergo the surgery. That surgery did not happen the following day as promised due to the shortage of oxygen. It was rescheduled to the following Friday, and Jerry would have to spend another week after that before being discharged. A Ghana Air Force plane was flying from Accra to Takoradi on the day Jerry was discharged, so the Garrison Education Unit arranged to have them on board. Jeremiah Arthur and his family were hit by a crude disruption to their lives on June 2nd, 2016, when a 62-year-old woman entered Jerry's school compound in Takoradi with a Toyota Corolla and crushed the 6-year-old boy against a wall. This is the Garrison Basic School in Takoradi, where Jeremiah Arthur was a student before the accident. At the time of the accident, there were no walls here, but walking around the compound, it is safe and secure enough because the platform here or the compound is raised and is higher than the rows around. Besides, there's also a huge drain or a gutter, an open one, and it sounds a bit strange how a vehicle would be able to jump over this drain, get onto this compound and cause the havoc it did.
For that day, I had a visitor who came to visit me here, so I was seeing her off. It was a lady, seeing her off. So when we got to this particular spot, but my head was down. I heard bump, so when I raised up my head, I saw the car moving from the service direction here, has veered up the road. There was a lot of cars parked in front of it here, so it they jumped the gutter, big gutter, and then came into the yard where the children were waiting for their parents to come and pick them. So the car was just moving on the pavement like that, and the children were also afraid, so they were running away. So one of them tried to jump this pavement container platform. As he tried to raise up the leg, and then the car hit it against that small wall over there. And then from.
The accident occurred on the 2nd of June 2016 at around 14:30 hours in this very platform here. This platform happens to be our assembly ground. And after school, most of the time, the children will be gathered here, a teacher will be detailed to be with them, and parents will come with their vehicles to pick the children in tents. So on that set date, the children were actually many. But few minutes before the accident, parents had come almost in convoy to carry their children away, leaving back 3 children and the teacher. A saloon car, a Toyota saloon car, came from this direction. Excuse me.
And there's actually a slope.
Yes, this direction. The driver was a woman. She actually got her way all right. Came and joined the main route. Let me show you here.
This is the main road.
This is the main route that is leading to Beach Road Township. So she got here, turned right.
This way?
This way. She got her turning all right. Then few meters, precisely here. What happened? She veered off again, turning 90 degrees this way and jumped over this big gutter. But then this fence wall wasn't there. She jumped off this gutter and climbed onto the platform. Let me show you what happened exactly. So the 3 remaining children and the teacher realized that it was danger after she climbed the square. So they all took to their heels. They were running, and they set Jeremiah Atta, who got here. There was one course on this.
That's
Jeremiah
a block.
Jeremiah Atta got here, and 1 foot in, 1 foot was still hanging, and the car hit the hanging foot against the wall. The car hit the hanging leg against the wall, and I suspect the woman was stepping on accelerator thinking it was brake, so there was more pressure. Eventually it cannot push this very wall. So the leg was still in between the wall and the car until the leg auto chopped off.
So me myself, I was even, because the way the car was coming, I even ran away. And I went back and I came. And then as I got there and I saw how the leg was cut, I moved back. It was there that a man, a courageous man, he parked his car and ran. He came to pick the child up like that. And we all saw, in fact, the boy too is very, very courageous. Because when he was picking him up, he was not crying, he didn't cry. He just turned like this and looked at the leg. It's like he was even smiling. I was surprised. He turned like this and he looked at his leg, and then he opened the mouth like that. So the man rushed and then tried to put him in the car, private car. So after they have left with the boy, then we came to push the car back. It was there that we saw that the leg was hanging under the bonnet.
This is a soldier that helps me to run, to coordinate the school and the office. Sergeant Owusu. Before I got here, Sergeant Owusu too had reached here. So I took the leg, the chopped off leg, and then pieces of the bones in a rubber bag, and followed a car with the child to Effiong Kwanta Hospital and asked the sergeant to remain behind with the police, because by then 2 inspectors also came here. So he should remain with the police to do the legal issues of the case whilst I carried the child to hospital. Then we got to the hospital, and in fact, the doctor who received us didn't have confidence in the survival of the child. They admitted us all right and requested for blood. So quickly, I had to volunteer, and I donated £1. Another teacher in Basic 6A, called Mr. Hamza, also donated.
Tedandako Yawana, the mamma yado, I must submit now, me yadi. Small boy be called school. Oh, who getting no bay? Oh, who be say? Jerry mammy, Jerry none could chama or shakala see. Hey, until one of Muslim mammy no more. Nam catching that for banana someday, Mama. On friend yasem.
Nkwala de omu hu no, eno na omu ka. Enti when hu se me ban ne nan da ho anka onka. Nti saa time ne de na me hu me ba no so na ye mbibia enye yi.
Even at the hospital, they were talking about amputating the second leg because it was also almost nothing left. There was, I'm not a medical person, so I may not be able to use the right terms, but this whole leg was like also mashed. Wow. The one that was up was also like mashed, but they were able to at least revive that one. Yes.
And was he crying? How was he reacting to all of this?
Yeah, you see, when this type of pain, it comes with trauma. He wasn't crying. The boy was not crying. Throughout the hospital at Efiong Kwanta, until we put him in the ambulance, he didn't shed tears. While he could react for you to know that he was in pain, but he didn't cry.
See, Efiong Kwanta na muhu de. Ni teachers ni bi na wo. Headmistress no. Oni the way ojina no no che de. Ontumi njina ho. Nti mu headmistress in the way you all la obi anka hwe ancha mam started de mulusu.
You know, the boy originally is a calm type. You tell him to sit here, he will be there until you tell him to stand up. So, seeing him with that condition, believe it. At the hospital there, I myself, I fell 3 times. I was just fortunate, soldiers were around me. They held me up. It wasn't an easy scene at all.
The coach casualty me who say akwalande da ho. E no frɛ me. To frɛ me na me so no nsa. Na me hwɛ e kɔ no nan wona me who say na nan ba ko ni ho. Nana hospital so mo say ma me yesan bia ma akwalande mu say we pla. Na say bibi sa. Nti odi mu sa no ka say dada ayɛ me ya na me so wo nya wotre be yi. Nti mu no mo de drip besi ni so. Na tepne e kɔ so na so jeni bako ho ohwe how a treatment ne kwa na enkoyi na ofre headmistress ne ka chene say no omo mfre omo pani no omo kan chene no mu how be yesa omo befa ambulance wa na omo befa plane wa.
But I realized that they were delaying tactics for the child to die because they didn't have hope. So I called my boss on phone and I told my boss that what I'm seeing here, if we don't react, we'll lose this boy.
They called me back and indicated that the boy's condition was very bad. And from their perspective, even though I am not a medical person, they thought that the level of medical attention that the boy was receiving was not up to scratch. And so we asked if we could arrange for a referral for the boy, and I think the hospital didn't deny us. So I immediately contacted the Commander Air Force Base, who actually gave me the go-ahead to liaise with the medical officer to get an ambulance for the evacuation to be done. And I think that just within a short period, he was able to mobilize 2 nurses, a driver, and an ambulance for us to evacuate the boy to 37 Military Hospital. So basically, the referral was done, but the hospital was not involved in the transportation of the boy. It was the Armed Forces Medical Center nurses that actually facilitated the movement of the boy from Efiong Kwanta Hospital to the 37 Military Hospital.
Some of the teachers visited him. I was there too at 37. And I think I give credit to the military for a very, very good work done on this boy. If it were any other unit, I wonder what would have happened. He wouldn't have survived. No, he wouldn't have survived at all. So I think I'll give credit to the armed forces on this issue.
Soldier phone de yame omo ayade say soldier phone ni ma nka kwala ni say me nya chose nka otiase because soldier phone no na mo aboa 50 time assembly see soldier phone de so mo ni ma nka kwala ni me nya chose otiase because say ka ha afie kwanta nka kwala me sure be hwele nkwa.
We found it a bit difficult to get back on track. Everybody became scared. Looking at the scene where the accident occurred, that was the safest place one could tell the kids to wait for their parents. And during closing, and if they had closed and waiting there for their parents and the vehicle could veer off the road to that extent, it was a very bad sight.
Hello, class.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you?
We are fine, thank you. And you?
I'm also very fine by the grace of God. You can sit down.
Thank you, sir.
How many of you remember Jeremiah Arthur? Yes, Jeremiah Arthur, yes. You remember him? Who was he? Was he your classmate?
Yes, sir.
He was supposed to be in this class?
Yes, sir.
So where is he now? Who knows the school he is now? Yes. Naval Base. Clap for her. But what took Jeremiah Arthur from here? Why did he leave the school? What happened to him? Who remembers? Yes, you. Yes. He had an accident. Where? In the school?
Yes.
And there? Assembly ground. Okay, you talk. So how many of you saw the accident?
So we took him to a new school, which is the Naval Base Basic School. With some level of considerations, that school was quite close to their home. Secondly, the headmistress who was at Garrison Basic School where the incident occurred had also been relocated to this new school, and we felt that she understands the boy's situation better and should be in a better position to be able to manage his condition.
The main reason Jerry was transferred to Naval Basic School has to do with a problem every person living with physical disability in Ghana is very familiar with. At Garrison Basic School, it is impossible to move to the classroom in a wheelchair. Jerry has two wheelchairs, one at home and another in school. The one in school aids his movement and serves as his chair in the classroom. Naval Basic School better accommodates Jerry's situation, but it cannot be said to be disability friendly either. His wheelchair can only move to one classroom unimpeded. To make this possible, the school even had to construct a special ramp at the entrance of this classroom.
I moved the class up there so that when the car brings into school, they can easily access the classroom. The decision is that so long as he remains in this school, that class has to be on that block.
He can't play with his friends, and let alone to the road is not good. So even with the wheelchair, he can't move around the compound. And one challenge I've also realized is when he wants to use the washroom, because looking at where the class is and where the toilet facility is, it's very far. Last time I have to carry him to the giant, which is very bad. So I think if there is any, like the people come in aid to support and this one, which would be close to the class where he can easily go whenever he feels to ease himself.
Jeremiah Arthur is one of the many victims who have had the course of their lives altered in a very cruel way. According to reported figures available at the National Road Safety Commission, more than 18,000 persons have been killed in motor accidents in the last 10 years. And like Jerry, over 66,000 persons sustained serious injuries within the same period. Behind these abstract numbers are real lives that have been destroyed or maimed, leaving behind hearts pricked with pain too devastating to forget or soothe.
I was at home that time, and I'm with my mother-in-law and my wife. We're right at the sitting room. So suddenly, I heard a screaming of people at the junction.
While in Takoradi, I visited Christian Donko, a man who lost his son and his niece in an accident similar to that of Jerry. 3 school children and an old woman were killed on the spot when an articulated truck, reportedly driven by the driver's mate, crushed them on their way back from school.
I saw 2 bodies already also on the street, including my son. One a real classmate, and then an old lady who had also gone to pick the daughter. I must say her granddaughter. And like I said, the scene was very bad. So my son was sent to the morgue, and then quickly somebody also, assisted me by sending me to Fiankwanta Hospital to have a look at my daughter.
I gained consciousness not knowing anybody. I just saw people around me, but I couldn't point out who this person was. I was discharged after 3 days. It was just a dressing that was on my leg, but then the pain was still there. And so my parents took me to a private hospital. I was there for almost 8 months. Losing my brother was something else. Francis and I were very, very close. We used to do things together. We used to even share the same bed. Even though he had a bed, he would always want to sleep by my side. And so losing Francis wasn't easy. It's still not easy.
According to the National Road Safety Commission, about 90% of all motor accidents are caused by human errors. Christian Donko believes this is possible because the perpetrators are either not punished enough or they are not punished at all.
The judge pronounced that the accused person, being the driver, has a case to answer. The argument is that, no, he's not at fault. So they are going to appeal. And I'm told that the case has been sent to Cape Coast High Court, Appeal Court, for it to be addressed. So here we find ourselves. Nothing is happening. Nobody is telling us anything. The question here even is the driver. Where is he? Is he still driving? The information we had that very moment is that he was not even having driving license.
The driver of the vehicle which knocked Jerry is a 62-year-old spare parts dealer in Takoradi, Madam Martha Amponsa. She was charged with dangerous driving and negligently causing harm and was fined 1,800 Ghana cedis, which she paid. Sources close to the scene of the accident allege she did not have the requisite documentation and licenses to drive at the time of the accident. A police report cited by JoyNews reveals the vehicle she was driving was registered in 2016, the year of the accident. Her driver's license was issued on the 1st of June, just 1 day before the accident. The vehicle's insurance was issued on the 2nd of June, the same day she knocked Jeremiah Arthur. When JoyNews contacted her, she declined to comment on the matter. In discussing issues of motor accidents, emphasis is often put on the number of fatalities, but the injuries can be equally devastating. Jerry's father, a car sprayer at Kokompe in Takoradi, says Jerry's accident has brought untold hardship on the family.
I was two and a taxi one. She's a matron in a car over one. Engine assess she has his hair. She had discussed something the other. But my men to me, I'll say, now insurance for and car insurance. Insurance for the Bianca Kasai. Tell me I'm a couple of years. Maybe sell lawyer now, so me alone. Biania, and you me alone, no receipt. Yeah, now this alone 1, 2, 3. Almost this amount, no more pressure. And I'm at the Tom casting. Because on my mom alone 1, 2, 3. No more pressure. Time and bit here. That was to me, it's more right. I was a tongue and yes, I bank for a tongue.
Jerry's mother used to sell food at Bumper Senior High School to support the upkeep of Jerry and his 3 other siblings. Since the accident, she had to stop. Taking care of Jerry is now her full-time job. Jerry's lawyers have begun processes to ensure that Jerry is compensated, but it appears that can take many years to complete. Seven years after Chris Donko's son was killed and his daughter injured, he is yet to get justice, not to talk of compensation.
You see where we stay, where we are living? Yeah. Just about 150 meters, that is where the accident happened. And that's where my son died. Just 200 meters, that is the cemetery. That's where my son has been buried. So can you imagine what we go through? Every day, we pass by the spot, we drive past the cemetery. And we always have him in mind. Every blessed day. As a Catholic, my belief is that I need to pray for the dead. So each time I get there,
Sorry about
I pray.
That.
I pray for the repose of my son, that of Melissa, and that of Ekua Smith, and then the old lady who passed on. So it's not easy. He may think 7 years is just ordinary, but for us, it's a disaster.
The effect of Jerry's accident is beyond the financial difficulties on the family.
Up now. Even bedroom
Jerry is an intelligent boy with a promising future. This is a unanimous observation by his teachers and people who encounter him.
I see him to be a very intelligent boy. He has fought through this and has not allowed this new condition of his to affect his level of thought and his level of integrating and liaising with his peers. I think that he has a bright future because anytime you interacted with him, he asked a lot of questions, lots of intelligent questions. And I pray that he would grow up to be what he intends to be.
Jerry wanted to be a soldier, a reason he was sent to a school run by the military.
The same team player you didn't go to school and say, no, soldier. Bibia, so yeah, the answer because I soldier for yes, on ye. Or did you not own to me? Did you guys say soldier for Okomo? I'm a camp with you. The Bibia because soldier won't be on over here. I don't know, soldier. No, yes, I didn't find the first school.
I like how the attention that is.
You like
how they do the attention
the actives, the military, the drills they do at parade. You like it?
With a half leg, that dreams appears over. He now shuffles between being a gospel artist and a pastor of the Assemblies of God Church, where he worships.
I want to become a pastor.
You want to become a pastor? Of which church? Which church do you attend?
Assemblies of God.
Assemblies of God. So why do you want to become a pastor of Assemblies of God? Why?
Because I like preaching.
You like preaching? So have you started preaching?
No.
You haven't started preaching? But do you know some Bible quotation?
Yes.
What are some of the Bible quotations you know?
What?
Some of the Bible quotations you know.
Ephesians chapter 10 verse Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 to 11.
Okay. What is there?
Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can stand against the devil's shame.
Jerry is intelligent and has a promising future, but that cannot wish away the tall and thorny hurdles he must scale to reach his goal.
Imagine a foka craba, or betina wheelchair the whole day, or betina from the whole day, or some walk across my wetty my bread. And as is assuming to me, Juma, because I mean, my head, nan. Oboko toilet, Mama Betty, Oboria, Mama Betty, Bibia, Mama Betty. Office school bar, now I'm bought to Mobon market. Now I started to lose you, mammy. See, mean to me, Juma.
As he grows, his movement in this school is going to be a challenge because he cannot be carried around the compound by his teachers and his peers. A medical officer told JoyNews it might be difficult to have a prosthetic leg because the amputation was very deep, coupled with the fact that most facilities such as schools do not make provision for his condition. The future looks uncertain.
If you had one wish to make, what would that wish be?
That wish must be to have another leg.
This is a wish that is as difficult as an impossibility, but it is a wish which ought to remind drivers and other road users that a moment of carelessness can cause eternal harm to someone like Jerry. For Joy Hotline, Manasseh Azore Arena reporting.